Shut up and sit down.
People who don't wash their hands after they go to the bathroom get nasty. The Lord is watching.
I want to ride it where I like. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like.
Say what? You came back for another Dialed podcast with Matt Legrand, Evan Price, Lance Hepler, and Jake Von During? You the best. We all can use a good Chinese proverb from time to time. So here you go. A man who cannot tolerate small misfortunes can never accomplish great things. Stay strong, my friends.
I want to go to the zoo and tickle a gorilla and then punch it in the face. You got to cuss yourself out every once in a while. What can I say? You know?
Hi, and welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I am Jake Von During, and I'm here with Mr. Lance Hepler.
Sir Lancelot the Sexy.
You just roll back on that one. You're like, what do I say? What do I say?
I blew it.
Lance looks like he just got jumped in a
like-
river and then got blow dried instantly. It's like
Look
slightly
at my
sunburnt.
hair.
His hair's bleach white.
This is perfect post-ride hair.
He's got a handlebar mustache for some reason. I just realized.
Did we get started a little too fast for you, Lance? Do we need to start over?
He was shocked. He
We're
was
rolling.
shocked.
We are going.
Today's right, Mr. Matt Legrand.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys are looking not too fantastic, I have to admit.
Why are you looking at me?
Well,
You look
the
like you
internet
just jumped
people
off
are
your
probably
bike.
fine. The people in here are terrible.
You look like you just jumped off your bike. The rest of us look like we haven't slept in a week. So there's that.
Matt's in a dreamscape right now.
Yes.
And last but not least, Mr. Evan Price.
We have a lot of very interesting drinks here. I am drinking a black coffee at 2:30 p.m. Don't know why. I just got out of the pool. I was like, what sounds good? Coffee.
That
All right.
sounds terrible.
It really is, to be honest. It was not a great choice.
Jake
but
came through with a LaCroix for me.
Matt's got
That's
LaCroix.
a huge win.
Yeah.
Jake's helping his gut health over there with some kombucha.
Some Brew Doctor, Superberry.
And then Lance is
Double fisting.
I'm double fisting. I have Gatorade Zero and a Perrier.
straight out of Italy. Nice.
What are you chasing what with?
I don't know. The Perrier's gone
Yeah.
already.
Tell you what, after a long ride, nothing better than 0 calories.
I'm drinking no calories at the moment.
The two gents across the table from me of the triathlon persuasion raced this weekend, so we're going to start with them.
Oh, yeah.
We've had so much racing lately in the triathlon world locally.
Quick
It's been
Rochambeau
great.
to see who goes first.
Local.
Rock, paper, scissors,
I'll
shoot.
go first.
Okay, Matt
Matt
won.
goes
He
first.
goes.
I did a triathlon this weekend, I guess, and had fun. Swam without a camera, so that was faster than swimming with
You
cameras.
didn't have it tucked into your waistband this time?
The
Is that
time
a
before
camera in
I
your
was
Speedo,
swimming-
or are you just happy to see us, Mr. Matt?
the time before I was swimming with a GoPro with a big thing on it, and then I did like a one arm with the other one, and I took my time on the swim. And this one I actually tried to pick up the pace a little bit. No camera. I did bring a camera on the bike, 2 cameras on the bike, and one camera on the run. But I was, you're able to kind of move a little bit faster on that. So I am quite sore today from trying hard in the triathlon.
Matt was giving it the beans because each time I saw him, it looked like he was
beans.
giving it the beans.
I
Yeah.
love that saying so much, and it just
one of my favorite
doesn't
sayings.
sink
Yeah.
in with me.
I didn't.
I don't
see
use
you
that.
really on the
Yeah.
course. Here's what. So
I saw
assumed-
you. You must have been just, you were not looking up.
Jake, do you need some beans? I've got some beans for you,
I
Jake.
bet you do.
Because you started,
I
what?
was riding. Yeah, I started.
You started
maybe,
5 minutes after
I'd
us,
say
right?
an hour behind you.
Gotcha.
That's why you held me off.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason.
But I was biking and I was like, that guy's going pretty fast over there. Looks just like Evan with the disc wheel, but Evan's doing the Olympics, so I know that's not him. It was you, I guess.
Surprise, surprise. I was doing the sprint. Yeah.
So I did see you. I just didn't think I saw you.
Yeah.
And I think you were going. Yeah, you were going the other way on the bike.
That's when I saw you. Yeah, I remember that.
I didn't see that much. Oh, and when I finished the bike, you were going out on your run. I saw
Yep.
you. That time I was like, oh yeah, that's Evan.
Yeah.
I guess he is doing the sprint. I guess I don't
Like
know what I'm
the
talking about.
Awkward, gangly guy with the next percents. Yeah, that's definitely Evan.
I won the whatever age group I'm in, 40 to 45 or something
70
like
to
that.
75.
Matt was the winner.
Yeah.
Top step of the podium.
Was.
And
Congratulations,
Lance
Matt.
helped heckle
I did do some heckling.
That was definitely the highlight. The heckling.
I showed up late and heckled Matt and
That was
Evan
fun.
It was a lot of fun seeing Lance out
and
there.
Matt's friend.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was
JP
awesome seeing JP out there.
JP also won his age group in the Olympic.
Yeah.
Now, JP is doing Maple Valley?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Man, that's
So,
awesome.
It's going to be a pretty cool race up there.
Yeah, I'm
Are you
excited.
going to wander up there?
I believe so, yes.
I did a mountain bike race in Maple Valley
Really?
earlier in the year.
Was it great?
Yeah, it was cool.
They put
Cool
on
city?
good races?
Yep.
I don't think there's much like place to stay or things like that up there. It
Well,
seems
you know, it's Renton.
That's what I'm finding with Best in the West,
yeah,
too. It sounds
it's-
like, let's look at hotels. There are
Nope.
none.
No.
Okay.
like people camp there.
my
at that one a
hotel's
lot.
like 30 minutes away, which is fine. That's fine. But
I think I've biked like every day in the past week or something like that, and I'm gonna maybe hop on the trainer tonight. We're rolling right into this 100-day
Matt
thing.
LeGrand is gaining
Yeah.
fitness again.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but
He's doing things, though.
I'm rolling
Stuff
around.
and things. He's
Yeah.
doing them. And giving it the beans.
He's giving it the beans.
Matt, I've got some beans for you.
I would like you to give them.
Yeah. To me, please.
Given the beans. Mr. Price, how was your week? How was your sprint triathlon experience?
fun.
Did you
It
sprint?
was fun. I don't know how to sprint anymore, so I think I just like tried to go fast and
Your
eventually.
transition was faster than mine. I thought that was the
Cool.
one spot I might get you.
That was my one goal in T1 going into this race. I was like, you know what? You really suck at T1, Evan. You probably need to go
Pick it up.
faster there. So I tried to
You
go
were
faster.
like 112 or 114, and I was 119, and I was like, oh, dang it.
He was close.
I
He was close.
could've
I'm
closed
much
that.
better at T2. I don't know what it is about T2. I'm just
It's
much
easier.
smoother there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a fun last week. I actually raced twice this last week. I raced my first bike race since
A long time.
2019.
Silverton
my
was the last time you raced?
Yeah, Silverton was the last time I raced, and I was definitely not in good shape in Silverton.
Yeah.
So this was the first bike race where I felt like, oh, hey, I'm in good shape right now. I want to go race. And I did PIR, which is awesome because I feel like PIR is like this regional just staple, and I'd never done it. This is the year of me trying to do things I should have done in this region for a long time.
Sure.
And PIR definitely makes that list.
Remind me, do you have a power meter on your BMC?
Absolutely not. No, I do
okay,
not.
So
no.
I happened
Oh,
across.
once it put my average at like 400 watts or something
It
like
said
that.
your average power was 355.
355.
I saw that, and I didn't get a chance to
No.
look and see if you were actually using a power meter or not. But
Yeah, actually, Evan only
no.
weighs 97 pounds.
okay,
Makes sense. according to
According to
Strava.
Strava. According to
So that's one interesting thing that we don't know about him.
I know that is the funny thing for people to know how much I weigh. I always get those comments after I get like Strava faster
power.
bike rides where they guess my watch and somebody's like, "Oh my god, that was like north of 5 watts for that entire 5 watts per kilo." I'm like, that's not accurate
sorry.
by any means. That is when you're in a group of 60 guys, it's a little bit easier to travel quick.
so how did that race go down for you?
It was a blast. Lance was there, Ed was there.
Yep, we had
Paul
7 or
First
8
was
or
there.
9 Dell
Like
guys.
9 guys, a
in
lot
the
of guys.
3-4
I got to meet
race.
some people.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a 3-4 race.
Yeah.
I had to renew my Uber license on the drive there because Lance tells me I had to sign up online. So literally, I pulled over on the side of the road and signed up for the race on my way there from work. So
3 weeks ago, they cut off
Day of.
registration like at noon, so you wouldn't have been able to register. But they
I'm not even sure if that lady knew I was on. I came up was like, Evan. She's like, okay. She kind of like looked at her computer. She's like, here's your number. She like, I'm not sure if I was actually on that list or not, but I paid. So
What was it like?
But yeah,
racing
it-
the bike.
it was fun, man.
Did you go to the front and just? I'm a time trialist. This is what I do.
That was basically. all I
yes,
did,
that's
yeah.
exactly what it did. It was a group
Who would
of
have predicted that? Who could have thunk it?
there was like 50 people in our
50, I
race.
think, yeah.
I think there was like 50 in our race.
Yeah.
And we did 33 miles.
Yeah.
Evan sat on the front for 30 of
Well, there was
those.
like, so like I went on the front for 2 or 3 laps earlier in the race, and then I come off and like there were just some games going on up front. The speed wasn't that high. My only goal was like, we're not going to let the 1-2-3 field catch us. So I was like, I am not going to be
Yeah.
part of a 3-4 field that gets brought in by the 1-2 field. So I sat on the
that
front
did not happen.
and was like, I got 4 laps to make sure we don't get caught, and hopefully somebody on our team can sprint. But me and Lance were talking. It's like these races. PIR is a brutal course to get away on. You need to be like,
It's flat, so
yeah. I mean, it's a hard course to get away.
You have to. The only time it's easy, or not easy, but easier to get away is after the preem laps.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a points race, so when
Yep.
they ring the bell and you come around to get those, there's guys sprinting to get those points.
Yep.
You have to attack there.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought that there was going to be an attack that was going to stick when I led us into a preem lap. This was the first or second preem lap. I led us into that. Guy sprinted around. I was pretty cooked. And some guy, I forget his name, really nice guy. I think he was for metal cycling, tattoos up and down his arms. Super nice guy. Comes up behind and pushes me. like to keep me like up with this group.
Stay up here.
Yeah, because I was like clearly pretty shelled. I was like, oh man, I was not expecting the break to go there. As Jake said, of course the break would go there. I don't know why I was thinking it wouldn't. But yeah, a lot of fun racing again. I finally got back into the rhythm of like crit cornering.
Yeah.
That took me 3 or 4 laps to remember how to like crit corner well. Yeah, but it was fun. Sat on the front for 4 last laps, and clearly I've only been time trial training. That's all I had. So, and then Saturday raced again in a sprint triathlon. Rode to the race, ran after the race, rode after the race. Turned into a big training day. But
How was your? Did you look at your?
Did everything I
splits?
needed to. Yeah, I mean,
Your run
it
was a touch fast, right?
Yeah, there was the course was a little long, so I was actually pretty happy with the run. I think I hit the 5K at like 16 low, so tapered. I'd be pretty sure I'd be like, I think I could probably go 15 mid.
Yeah.
Off the bike tapered, and the bike was right where me and Josh had just done time trial efforts out the day before, so I was a little bit quicker than our time trial efforts in the race, which was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it
Good
was
job, Evan Price.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You were crushing. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Did you get
Got
heckled?
to talk with
Did you
Lance
get
a bunch.
heckled? Did you get heckled when you were on the podium?
Yes, I did hear some yells. They were
because
funny. I'm pretty
it
sure
was
Matt
me and
said
Matt.
something. I'm pretty sure Lance said. JP, I think, said
We were-
something too.
We were talking
No.
about.
Yeah, we were teasing you for beating all the high schoolers because
I'll tell you what.
I felt immediately guilty after saying that.
I was telling Cassie too. It's like those two kids were so excited to be up there and were just awesome. I was like trying to congratulate myself. It's embarrassing being the guy who goes up there and they're like, "Wow, man, you won by 10 minutes in this race." I was like, "I know. I should not be. You two should be sitting on the top of this podium having a blast that you two raced each other the entire day, and this 30-year-old comes and ruins your sprint race." With a disc wheel. Like I'm pretty sure they were both on road bikes.
Yeah, they were on tricycles. They were young.
So mountain bikes, both of them.
Mountain bikes.
One of them was a very fast swimmer too, actually. So,
Were they?
Yeah,
I
one of
bet,
them
yeah.
was.
I
think they weren't in high school.
Yeah, I did feel bad because the guy who took second was actually 20, and in college,
Was he?
He just
Oh,
looked
gotcha.
like he was 15.
Everybody under the age of 25 looks like they're 15.
and the other
basically.
guy was like 17 or something, but
Yeah.
they were basically teenagers.
Hey, I told them both to keep on keeping on. They were enthusiastic and excited. It was fun to see. Yeah,
They didn't appreciate the heckling though.
they did not.
They were no.
They
Sure.
didn't laugh
I'm sure
at
they were
us.
offended.
Me and Matt laughed at
was
each
the-
other.
What was
We
the
thought-
heckling?
we
Now-
thought
now-
we were
We
now-
thought we were hilarious.
Yeah.
But we
There's
just
that.
offended.
Oh, was it something like you guys just lost to an old guy or something?
Like, way to beat the high schoolers, man.
Oh no, I do remember that now.
Yeah. It's rude.
Yeah,
we
but
were
hey, why put on a
Why-
awesome race
why
season
puts
for
on good
triathlon?
races?
I want to give a big shout out to Carissa, who we've had on this show. She is,
Yep.
she has put in so much hard work in the face of obviously a lot of challenges this
Basically,
last year.
all of those races got moved to Columbia River.
Yeah.
Out to the Frenchman's Bar.
Also,
area.
shout out to whoever runs Frenchman's Bar, whoever runs the
Park
anything for that.
system.
Yeah, thank you.
And the fact they shut down the road for it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fantastic.
they have had to do on every one of those
Yeah.
events.
Fantastic.
I've raced in a lot of different parts of this country. There's not many like better little race venues there than Frenchman's Bar. That's about as good as it gets for
I don't.
triathlon.
I don't agree with you, but
I'm not a fan of the river swim, to be honest, but
I think that I'm okay with the river swim. It's the turnarounds.
Oh,
on
the bike definitely slow you down, yeah.
And it's. I just wish it could like
Because
go
they're 180
further.
degree turns. You can't like.
yeah, for a 12-mile
You can't
course, it
crit
really
corner
doesn't.
it.
No, it
I-
really
you
does
know what I
not make
wish?
for a fast bike
I
course.
wish you could go up and go left and go to that
Yes.
other dead end,
Mhm.
and that way you could do almost. I don't know. You probably still need more distance for an Olympic.
I was
but
so confused when we went past the dead end too. The
Yeah,
gate. I've
me
never
too.
gone past the gate before, so I was like, "What are we doing right now?" I was
They
just
open
doing
up,
riding
they open
forward.
up the gates at the very end.
They open
got-
up the gates.
They got that
You know
family
what?
to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Huh?
You probably picked up all of my KOMs that I have. You know, I have like all these.
I
yeah.
did. I
KOMs that
grabbed
are-
some KOMs over there. Yeah.
Oh, they're probably mine.
You're
'Cause
welcome.
I had all these ones. I had all
gotta
these ones
look.
that are like go
That
down.
nobody's
past
ever
the-
gone there.
Yeah, yeah.
As they close the road.
Because then they closed that road at one point.
Those
So
are highly protected KOMs.
they were so protected until now. Dang it! I don't remember getting an email, but I'm sure.
You got some homework to do while we're sitting here.
Yep.
Mr. Hepler,
What?
what did you do this past
I
week?
rode my bike every day.
How long did you end up riding Saturday while you were waiting for your car?
I only rode like 75 miles. I didn't go that
Not
far.
so much,
It was like 4 hours, and
Yeah.
then I
was getting
actually
Spent
hot,
a lot
man.
of time at the triathlon, which I appreciated.
I spent
felt
like
bad.
2.5 hours at the triathlon.
I was like,
Yeah.
just watching.
Keep hanging out, Lance. Come on.
Lance,
we were-
Lance rode with me while I was running, so he was riding at 10 miles an hour
I was
for a
running
while.
10 miles an hour while Evan was doing his cool down run, which was awfully fun. But no, it was we were doing like off the cuff interviews with people. Matt was walking around with his camera, and I was just interviewing people randomly.
I saw the JP interview. I liked the JP interview.
Poor JP. He was like thinking that we were doing like a serious interview, and then Lance said something like, "Why did you suck out there so bad?"
This is for the Colombian, in case you were wondering. Yeah.
And then he crotch shot me. I think you got
On
that
camera.
On camera.
I haven't looked at any of the footage.
You guys also interviewed a 92-year-old man
91-year-old.
91-year-old
That
Lou,
was the
who
best
talked about
interview
the
ever.
benefits of triathlon for him personally.
His
Which
personal life.
This is a family show, so we will not go into the details
Yes.
there.
No, we will go into
We
the
will-
details.
91-year-old Lou Hollander from Bend, Oregon.
Yes.
He is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having done the most Ironman races or the most. I don't know.
25 years straight of Kona.
He
or
has a
something
Guinness
ridiculous.
Book of World Records related with
Something
Ironman
triathlon,
races,
yeah.
something triathlon. Yeah, and so I'm like, how do you? I don't know why. He didn't realize. I don't think he thought the camera was on, but I'm not sure.
He's 91. I'm sure he knew or didn't care.
But
that the camera
I don't
was
think
he was
91.
talking he was talking very quietly, so I don't think we really
All of a
got
sudden,
it.
he was just like, he goes, "Yeah, I got remarried like 4 years ago, and I'm having more sex than I've ever had in my entire life."
It was
Whoa.
the funniest thing.
Wait,
Be-
that's not what I asked.
Benefits of triathlon. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't even a question. You just went to answer
You
it that
went
way.
like hands to knees laughing as hard as you could, and I think that was like the best part was just like seeing your
My
reaction.
reaction to him, like, what? Did you really just say that?
That is absolutely hilarious.
And then, and I'm like,
I can't wait
okay.
for him to go to like a USAT Nationals and get interviewed after and then answer that
Answer
way
that.
on live
So
stream.
good.
Then I go, Lou, you're 91 years old. How do your knees still work? He goes, it's just like the sex. You use it or you lose it.
Oh my God, that's
And
awesome.
I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you just keep going and just keep going, and your knees they'll just work. And I'm like, no, everybody else's knees implode. Why do your knees still work?
I want that man to be the poster boy of like
He has
what I
a-
point to for triathlon now with PT.
I think he has some sort of book that we like need
Yeah,
to pick up because
it's called
Really?
Use It or
it's called
Lose
Use
It.
It or Lose It.
Seriously, he has a book called Use It or Lose It.
Yes.
I'm buying that book right now.
Well, it was at the race. Like you could pick it up at the.
Seriously?
Yeah, I saw it, but then I didn't like realize what it was.
What it was.
You know, and so I was like, oh, okay. But
Anyway.
yeah, Amazon. You could probably grab it right now.
It was quite hilarious. Me and Matt walking around the crowds,
That was-
making fun of people. and
That was a highlight of my day.
It was kind of fun. So yeah, I did some other riding. I did race with Evan. I threw up in my mouth and barely held on to the back of the field.
Threw up in your mouth.
I did.
Oh, that's gross.
I would.
Toothbrush aisle 4.
Well, here I just been these last 4.5 weeks. All I did was rode for fun. It was nothing structured at all. I get back into town and what do? Oh, let's go do the 3-4 race. And it was like, okay, just don't get dropped and don't crash. And it was basically I was just holding on.
I tried to make the race as boring as I could for you. I'm sorry.
You did good. Matt was sitting on the front, pulling it like 28 miles an hour. That's basically how 30 of those miles were.
Okay, so that guy that we brought in randomly, was he a 1-2-3 rider?
I don't think
Do
so.
you know what I'm talking about?
From the
He had
beginning,
those like faint attacks. It was like towards the end. We brought that guy back. He just like randomly came to the pack. And then I think he was from the 1-2-3 field. And I think he was embarrassed to be
Oh.
with us because he kept on trying to attack.
oh, maybe. I don't know.
And then we bring him back. He was doing a really off-rhythm thing. I was like, buddy, you can just hang in the pack. This is not going to work for you.
That's too
But
funny.
yeah.
The rest of the week, I don't know.
I got to bike with you. That was the
Oh,
highlight
yes.
of your week.
And then I biked. We did end
Let me
up
just tell
biking
you.
together.
Let me just tell you what was your highlight.
Me and Jake headed out for like an easy Sunday ride, and we were just cruising along, and boom, we ran into Matt and
Yeah.
Sean and
Nice.
Shelly.
And Sean and Shelly. They're
Oh.
they're cool too.
Yeah.
There.
So we kind of rode together for a while, which
was nice.
was the highlight of my week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My entire week.
Did you guys go further? Did you guys keep on rolling?
We-
Not really.
You
Not
guys called
really.
it. Yeah, kind of called it a day.
We went up and took a couple KOMs and then went home.
Man,
Nice.
you guys are collecting some KOMs. We should like do a round of how many numbers you have of KOMs. Does that get recorded somewhere?
It
It's
does.
on the Strava page.
Like
we,
there's a page.
We know
There's a
Lance
page,
has the
profile
most.
page.
I'm not even close.
I don't
I've
know
only
if I
got a
have the
few.
most. Jake might have the most for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know.
Who cares?
I couldn't even tell you how many I have. I haven't looked in so long.
Oh, I have it pulled up. Imagine that.
Too funny.
Of course you do.
I was going to reference
No,
that
it's
at some
because
point
I'm
today.
on my
You could just
Strava
check
page.
your tattoo and see where exactly
Yeah.
where your numbers are.
I-
How many
Keep
notch
those-
marks you have?
It's like a, yeah, it's like a,
Yeah, I get
It's
a
not,
KOM.
it's not important to me, but let me just check
It's
and see
not
where it is on my
important. Let me see
tattoo.
it's a number of teardrops he has coming out of his eyes.
I have 16 pages.
Okay.
I have one. So I think you win.
I mean, it's like 20 per page or something like that.
I think it's 20 per page. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How many does Handle have?
I don't know.
Shabadoo has to have
He has a lot.
probably 30 pages plus, maybe.
You must have.
That little
miss
turkey, man. He
Shabadoo.
goes out every time he goes for a ride. He gets a KOM.
Mine are all cheap and short and downhill.
Yeah.
There's no legit KOMs in my whole thing.
Short and downhill.
I don't even know where you find them.
I need a guarantee
It's-
of 20
I
minutes.
think you have
plus
to
for
go
any
to the,
KOM
you
I'm
have to go to
going
the
for.
web version of
No, you can
Strava.
find them on there. You have to go to segments.
Oh, you can go to the app and do that, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If you find segments, and then up at the top, see KOMs. It won't show all of them, but it will show several of them.
Yeah, it looks like I maxed out. I just must have. They must stop here because there's just so many.
So many.
Can't-
You have one
can't
page.
Load. They can't load any more than this, right?
Good times.
All right, yeah, enough
have-
of that.
I have more running than cycling, but it's close. It's a local legend. This is
But
the
I
most
am
important.
back full speed on the training plan.
Good for
so
you.
I'm doing 3 days of intervals so that I can be ready for the cross season, which is about to start.
As they
in
say,
2 weeks. Yeah,
cross is
cross is
coming.
coming. So
Oh yeah.
I am.
I think even if I
jumping
wanted
back
to
on.
do that, I couldn't because there's no cross bikes and I don't have one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. You can't buy them.
You could race your gravel bike. It was not the same thing.
No,
It's not the same thing.
No, it's
but you
highly
could
different.
race your gravel bike.
could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep.
How about you, Jake?
I went camping, had fun, went to Lost Lake.
Lost Lake.
Took
Yeah,
a
it was-
week off.
It was a nice break. It was much needed. Getting up there too. What's
Absolutely.
nice about it is it kind of drives you a little bit nuts for like the first day, but there's no cell service up there at all. There's no Wi-Fi up there at all.
Right.
And what was hilarious is I swear this is the people that work there at the lodge. In the little general store, they pick on people. I think they tell them like, "Oh yeah, if you go over there and stand by the sunglasses, there's sometimes people can get like a phone call or get a text message there." And no joke, you walk in there and there's people walking around with their hands up in the air with their phone, trying to look at it, trying to put it closer to an air conditioner that they said they work. And I think they do that and record them just to make them look like a bunch of
Just
idiots.
to
But
make
they're
'em-
like legit trying to get cell service. I'm like, dude, let it go.
I love
Dude,
it.
you're out here for a reason. It's so that
Yeah.
you don't have to have cell service.
Yeah,
That's-
and so I did a lot of fishing with my son. We were on our
Nice.
stand-up paddle boards and caught a ton of fish. It was fantastic. And we're out there on the middle of the lake, and I bring my phone with me solely so I can take pictures, right? And I keep it inside my tackle box, which is like anchored down, and it's waterproof. It's not gonna take the dive to the deep depths of the lake like I did once before. So I'm not worried about that. But randomly, there's little spots out there on the lake that it will get like 1 bar of service, and then like a random text will come in, but you can't respond to it. So it just absolutely drives you a little bit bonkers because it's connected to my watch, and I'll get a text and I'll see something. I'm like, oh, they need something. I'm not going to be able to get back to them for 3 days. So, oh well, just delete or dismiss. So, yeah,
You'd be shocked how many people come in the shop and they're like, "Where's Jake?" I'm like, "Oh, he's on vacation." They're like, "Okay, can you ask him this for me?" I was like, "No, he's on vacation." Like, where at? Can I call him? I was like, "No, you can't. He's at Lost Lake. You're gonna have to figure it out next week, man."
yeah, that was unreachable. But
That's good, man.
I think the 2 days I spent fishing, I think I brought in like 15 or 16 trout, which was
Oh,
pretty
wow.
good. My son caught a bunch of trout as well. That was fantastic. The gravel bike for the win. Gravel bike at Lost Lake for the absolute win. That place is
I wouldn't have
spectacular.
expected that. I'm glad you took your gravel bike and
Dude,
not your road
there's-
bike.
I didn't scratch the surface, and I probably rode, I don't know, 5 hours maybe while I was there over the couple days. And
Nice.
I just, all I want to do is go back there and ride all of it now. There are logging roads. There are like abandoned, like
Ton of access roads out
Is
there.
it like a 2-hour drive for us?
Did you have to like come?
45.
Did you have to go from like the camp like down the big hill mountain maybe, and
You have to
then start
come-
finding?
No,
dirt-
there's stuff that you
up
can
there?
There's
connect
stuff right
at the
from
top.
there.
So Matt's been there before. Like
Yeah.
if you were going down to the boat launch, you're coming down from the main entrance. You go down to the boat launch,
Yeah.
and you kind of hang on a little bit of left. You can take that road, and then it hits to where there's a fork in the road. And there's 2 gravel roads that you can take there. The one that goes to the right, dead ends. The other one that goes to the left, it's the Forest Service Road 1340, and that will take you all the way
you're
down. Pretty far down the hill past where a lot of the windy stuff is that you drive to come up there, and it connects with the road there, but there's other roads that you can connect with when you get there. Also, when you first come into the campsite, you're going to go straight to go to all the campsites. Well, there's another little dirt road or gravel road that goes to the left. That one goes for about a mile, then dead ends. But if you go right, you'll see a big barrier there, and it says road closed. If you follow that down, I rode that for 15 miles.
And you're like, oh my gosh, it's still going.
It's
oh my
still,
gosh, it's still
it's
going.
all
It's
like
awesome.
downhill going down. So it makes for, I think it ends up being like a 6 or 7 mile climb to get back up there. People are trying to call us.
They're trying to.
Lost Lake calling us here. Hey,
Lost
don't
Lake.
give away all of our secrets.
Exactly.
So, anyhow,
That's a park ranger right there.
talking about stuff that people can't visualize or see, it's fantastic, and there's a lot of cool stuff to see. There are great vistas, great views. The smoke, though, the smoke kind of came
Smoke
back.
rolled in.
There were some fires in southern Oregon, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, the air quality, though, oh, God, I'm not about to say what I was about to say out loud.
I'm glad you caught yourself, Evan.
But not terrible in Vancouver at this moment. Not
Yeah.
on wood.
No,
Yeah,
it's
knock
not.
on wood.
It's
At this
gotten
moment.
better.
So the smoke rolled in, and like there's a fantastic view of Mount Hood up there, and you get this picturesque, like it can't be framed any better with the trees and the lake and the
yeah.
mountain right in the background. It's just
We live in the best
stunning.
part of the country.
So
You
the
can't
first
beat
day
it.
I went there, I always go up there and take a picture of that just because I want to put that in my ride, right? You know,
Right.
And then I went back up there. That's Tuesday. And then I went back up there on Thursday. Took the same picture. You couldn't even see the mountain, and the mountain just sticks out like a
yeah.
giant sore thumb, and it feels like
Because
it's
of
right
the
there.
Smoke that rolled in.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday, and we were by the lake all day. It was definitely smoky, but you couldn't smell it really. It was like maybe sometimes you get a little twinge of it, but not a big deal. And then we left on Friday to go down to Bend to go to my daughter's soccer tournament. And as we're driving down there, you felt the smoke getting a little bit thicker. And then we were there on Saturday morning for a soccer tournament, 7:30 in the morning, and the AQI, the air quality index, had it at 150, and that was their break point. So they decided to, instead of playing the game, to do penalty kicks. And they were going to hope for the best and see if the wind would blow it out and things would change as the day would go on and they would play games. So they all got to do a penalty kick. I drove 3 hours down to Bend to watch my daughter
For
do one
penalty kicks.
penalty
You
kick.
got photos of it, though.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. That makes sense now. When I was looking at the photos, I'm like, oh, that's cool. She's taking a penalty kick. That was the only thing that happened that game.
That was all that happened that game. So we went back to the hotel, and an hour later we got an email saying that the air quality index was not going to get better. As a matter of fact, it had gotten worse by that point in time. We were seeing stuff that was getting into like the low 300s. And
that's not good.
they canceled the tournament. So we packed up, and the hotel was gracious enough to refund us for that second night that we were supposed to be there, and we drove home. So we drove 6 hours to watch my daughter kick the ball one time.
Did she score?
No, she did not. So the
That's okay.
the keeper almost botched it. My wife and I are looking at the pictures afterwards, like, that looks like it went in, but it doesn't matter because they had outkicked him by, I think, like 2 points or
Oh,
2 or 3
gotcha.
goals. So
Nice.
anyway, it doesn't matter. They won that and yada, yada, yada. So we drove home and then did a ride with Lance and ran into Matt and went and took a KOM, and that's it.
There we go.
Jake has 13 pages of KOMs.
You have 16.
And I have 16. But his are all legit,
And me
either
and Matt
uphill
are probably
or long.
working on one page right now.
We got the one page that counts.
I'm thinking we got the one page. Also, we probably have a running one or two, which I don't think that they have. so.
Actually, Matt has about
I have more running than
you have more running than
cycling.
riding. But Evan, you got 2 on Saturday. You got 2 KOMs
Really?
on Saturday.
Nice.
You did.
Did you take them
There we
from
go.
Matt?
I don't know who he took him from.
I will say that Shabadoo has one. If I'm going to go out there and try and grab that segment back
Took
from
from
him that he took from me,
Scott
that's going to have
Macbeth.
to be a monster effort.
That was a hell
He
of
was
an effort
flying
out there.
that
yeah.
day. He was
Yeah.
absolutely flying that day. Yeah.
Did you see that Kieran Crossley went out there on his TT bike?
Didn't
Just
get
kind
it,
of ride
right?
and he didn't get it, but he said he's going to come back and take it.
It's not going to get it from Shabadoo. Shabadoo's effort was pretty strong. You're going
That
to
would
need a
be
favorable
impressive.
wind day. You're gonna, yeah. I will go after it, but I am not banking I'm going to get that back from him. That's going to be a big effort.
Maybe we should have a little Strava KOM competition.
Oh, I'd love if everybody went out there and gave that a shot. I would say
Give it the beans, you say?
give it the beans. I would
I got some
allow.
beans for you,
I
Evan.
think that there should be 8-person teams. So if you have a TT bike, it has to be solo. But I think if you're a roadie group, I think we could do an 8-person
8-person team?
8-person team.
Yeah.
I'd put money down that I could beat you guys if you guys had 8 guys together, as long as Shabadoo's not in that group or Guy Van. That's my only rule is those two.
I think instead of 8, you should say like 4.
No,
I think 8
I'll
is
just
too many guys.
No, I'll just go way
over.
overconfident. I'll just go entirely too. You guys have seen the GCN segment where they do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cy beat 5, I think. 5
Yeah.
or 6.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Moving
There
on.
you go. Okay.
We're done.
Hey, Champ Bailey, you back?
Champ Bailey here.
Back from the Piggly Wiggly?
I am back from the Piggly Wiggly. I have not had to testify into a court case yet, so I am not being subpoenaed at the moment. So I think the guy must have confessed. There were a couple of big races that started. That's your home state.
People are like, what is
What?
he talking about?
I witnessed a shooting when I was in Alabama. And
As you do.
As you
As you do when
I
you're
was-
in Alabama.
We were pulling into the Piggly Wiggly parking lot, and there was a shooting that just happened, and we actually witnessed the retreat. And so I actually had to testify. I had to give a
Oh
statement
my
to
God!
the
Did the guy
police.
die or?
No.
Oh, okay, thank God.
He didn't get shot in the face.
Is there any more?
He got shot in the face and
shot-
did not die.
No, he was like up and talking, and
Is there more of an Alabama statement than I was at a Piggly Wiggly
I was
and
at
there
a
was a
Piggly
shooting?
he got shot in the face.
You don't hear that in the Pacific Northwest.
And he didn't die.
And he didn't die. No.
Stay on target. We're too close.
I've
Stay
lost
on
it.
target.
So there is some big bike racing happening. The Vuelta has started. Stage 3 happened this morning.
Yep.
Some dude won in a breakaway. I think Roglic is not in the red jersey anymore.
No.
And
Carapaz
Carapaz
lost some time.
lost like 30 seconds. That's
Yeah.
that's the highlight.
Carapaz also got a penalty for taking food
Oh,
late. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Don't blame him. If I was going up that last climb that they had to go up and I was hungry, I'd be like,
Super
yo,
steep.
take the 20-seconder. That's fine. I need food.
Two other big races happened this weekend. The Leadville 100 mountain bike race happened. Yep. Stetna did not win it.
Oh, I thought he did.
No. So
Who
there
What?
was
hit?
the Leadville. Keegan Swenson won Leadville.
Oh, was it
Ah.
I thought was Stetna there?
Yes. Keegan Swenson won. Lachlan Morton took second place.
Yeah.
Really?
He
That's
beat
cool.
Lachlan.
Maybe I got
Wow.
my guys mixed up. I
Yeah,
could've
and
swore-
Howard Grotz took third, who has won it the last couple years. Peter Stetna was fifth.
God,
actually.
Leadville brought out the heavy hitters this year.
Yeah, Payson McKelvin was fourth, and Peter Stetna was fifth.
And Kid Hinders finished. Woo!
Oh, did
Let's
he?
go, Kid.
Did he go to Leadville?
He did
and
Leadville.
he finished.
He did. Also, he
Good for him.
was like in one of the last corrals. He passed 500 people.
Oh my gosh!
wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Kid trained very hard going
It's
into
a
that.
lot to
Yeah.
count.
Yeah.
You're losing count.
He also had to do a lot of work to get by people all
Oh,
the time.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And
sure.
Shout out to
Rose
Kit.
Grant won on the female side.
Rose Grant won on the female side. Super strong. So, there was a different challenge this year. I guess they've tried to do it last year, but it got canceled. They have the Leadville 100 mountain bike race, and then the very next day, the Steamboat gravel
Kid
race.
did that too. Yep.
Did he really?
He did both.
So the Steamboat gravel race, there's several different distances, but the big distance was the 140-mile, 11,000 feet of climbing.
That's so brutal.
So, and they backed that up. Stetna won the Lead Boat Challenge, where he had the lowest cumulative time between the two races.
Oh my god.
He took fifth.
It's a lot of biking.
Yeah, he took fifth at the Leadville mountain bike race, and he took third at Steamboat.
See, this is when you're a Grand Tour cyclist. That's like nothing but a thing. You're like, cool. We're gonna
So-
ride back-to-back 8-hour days. That's fine.
So Stetna's comment was these 2 days were harder than any two
Grand Tour.
Tour days that he'd ever done because they're
Oh, definitely. You think? Yeah.
they were 6-hour days,
a lot
7
of
hour
elevation, too.
6.5-hour days.
Yeah.
at over 10,000 feet.
Yeah. You don't get to sit in a Peloton.
What did they
either.
finish
Yeah.
Leadville in? Did they finish sub 8?
Oh, yeah, it's like 6.5
Is
hours.
it 6.5? Oh my gosh!
6.5 hours.
That's so fast.
What do you
That
get a
is
belt
so
buckle for? Is it
fast.
under
That's how
10 or
fast
under
they go.
9 or
It's
something like
under
that?
9.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah,
Do they use
so
time
fast.
trial bikes on the
I assume
trails?
so. They have to.
They have to.
It's
Yeah. What
not.
kind of arrow helmet did he have?
It's not per
Skin
se a
suit.
technical mountain bike course, but it's 100
got
miles,
a long
over
climb.
10,000
You're
feet
starting at over
elevation.
10,000 feet.
And it
That's
goes up to like
incredible.
13,000 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, my
it's,
God.
it's
I know
not
some
easy.
studs, some hitters who've gone out there and DNF'd because of the altitude. They
Yeah.
just couldn't handle the altitude.
Yeah.
And these are guys, if you're riding at altitude, like or like sea level, they will just eat your lunch. I mean, they will destroy you. They go up there and they can't do it. And
Yes.
They've tried it multiple times and they
It's
can't
just,
do it.
It's just
So
too much. The altitude is just too
that
much.
alone, it just
Those
yeah.
Colorado animals, man.
Yeah, so Keegan just crushed it. But Keegan did not do the gravel race the next day. Instead, he did Breck Epic, the start of the mountain bike stage race in Breckenridge. And he won that. So
That's
Keegan
ridiculous.
is like on a different level. But the gravel race Steamboat was actually won by Alex Howes. He actually won the 140-mile gravel race, the Steamboat gravel race. I can't remember who was third. And Stetna was third. I can't remember who was second, but it came down to a sprint.
Seriously?
3-person, 3-up sprint.
Wow.
And Alex Howes won it. Oh, it was Ian Boswell.
Oh.
Alex Howes, Ian Boswell, Peter Stetna. Those are the 3 guys that got to the end. And Stetna, after having done, I guess Howes did.
After puberty?
After I know. Stetna. I'm just so amazed by this. It's kind of unreal. But he said that he felt like crap for like 3 hours.
Seriously.
Yes. So the first 3 hours of the race did not feel good.
He just didn't feel good.
No.
And still won.
But was able to stay with the front guys.
Yeah.
And then and like after 3 hours, he's like, yeah, my legs kind of came around after 3 hours.
Isn't it funny how that works
Well,
sometimes?
that's like, yeah, I mean, like those guys though that like have raced Grand Tours for a good amount of their life, like their like endurance like reserve is
pretty
unbelievable. I mean, it really is. Like, there's probably no combination of races you could put together that's actually
No.
going to crack these guys. I mean, it's unbelievable.
On the women's side, the gravel race was won by Lauren DiCrescenzo, the athlete who has just been hired back onto the pro circuit and who has Tom Danielson as a coach. There's a little bit of controversy there. But she's doing well. And the Lead Boat Challenge was won by Sarah Sturm. So she was the highest placer who did both Leadville and Steamboat.
So in women's cycling too, I read a crazy story this morning about the Austrian who won gold.
Yes, I read
She's
that as
not
well.
a professional cyclist.
Yes.
And she has no plans to be a professional cyclist.
And you know why?
Because she's awesome. Because you go and win a gold and you're like, I don't want to do this professionally.
Well, she's like a mathematician,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the main reason she doesn't want to be a professional cyclist, she does not like riding in a group.
Yeah.
She doesn't like group.
Well, I'll
the
tell
group
you what.
dynamics. And how does she win the Olympics?
When you're one of the strongest, clearly one of the strongest female cyclists in the world, you're just like, I don't like groups. I'll just go ahead and break away and win gold. That's all.
So solo
Let's get away
breakaway
from all these Dutch women.
for the
Just go
whole
ahead.
friggin' thing. She wins it, and she's like, "No, I'm just not gonna sign another pro contract.
Also,
I don't want to do these."
For her, she's
things."
probably like, this whole mathematician is working out great for me. I'm making good money off this. Why would I want to go and make no money in a pro peloton?
That's exactly right.
I'll just come every 4 years and win gold. Thank you.
So pretty crazy.
Did she even race the time trial?
I don't know.
She probably didn't even have a time trial, but if somebody just would have been like, here's a time trial bike, she's like, okay, I'm going to go win
I'll
gold in this
win
too.
gold in
Yeah.
that. I don't know. Champ out.
Champ Bailey out.
No news.
Oh,
God, yeah.
big
In
surprise.
not so inspiring female cycling news, unfortunately.
We should drop this segment.
Yeah.
Drop it.
Yeah.
Are we talking about?
Katie Compton.
Yeah, Katie Compton.
How do you
Katie-
feel about that? Just real
And
quick.
Igor Polyansky. I will
about
talk
Igor.
briefly about Igor Polyansky too.
So, Katie Compton did accept a 4-year ban
Massive ban.
for testing positive for an anabolic steroid that was found in one of her from 2019.
Samples, yeah.
One of her samples from 2019.
She formally retired though in March of 2021, though,
did.
correct?
She did. She
Was
had
that after
retired.
she found out
Yeah.
that this
It was
was going to
not.
come?
Oh wait, no, she.
No.
There was
It-
no correlation between the two?
No, she
Okay.
actually didn't. She had actually so the test that she tested positive for, she'd passed the test, and then it was 5 months later they tried a new something to test against her biological passport and found something that looked suspicious, so went back and tested again, and it was 5 months after the test where they said, hey, we have found that you have this in your system. Katie Compton has been a lifelong anti-doper,
Yeah.
speaking against anti-doping, talking about Betsema, who the writer who was busted and who had accepted a ban, and spoke about how they would never trust her again. You know, regardless of, Betsema said it wasn't my fault; it was a tainted sample. And now the same thing is happening to Katie Compton. She initially was going to fight the whole thing, and after starting down the road of fighting it and deciding, you know, I don't want this on my record. I want this expunged, and realizing what it was going to take and realizing that she wasn't going to be competing anymore, she ultimately just decided, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to accept the ban.
Yeah.
Which is It makes me feel terrible. She has been like a pillar of the
Yeah,
cyclocross community
yes.
for 15 years. What did she won nationals 14 years in a
Yes.
row? 14 years in a row
Yeah.
she won nationals.
That's crazy.
So does that taint everything that she has done for the last 15
Yes, it
years?
does.
It does.
It does if the test
does.
is legit.
It does.
Right.
I actually got in like a small argument with somebody about this, talking about how people want to believe her. And I said it depends on the reason you like Katie Compton. If the reason that you were a massive Katie Compton fan was because you thought she was a shining pillar, that's great. But if you liked her because she was a fierce competitor, you can continue to. She's, regardless of doping or anything like that, fierce competitor and a champion. But
Yeah.
I mean, this sullies that. And this is the same thing with me being still a Lance fan. I don't sit there and say anymore, Lance is a shining pillar. He's not. He's an incredibly flawed human being. You have to hold Katie to that same standard if this is legit. Do we know if it's legit? I don't know. I mean, none of us are sitting there looking at this. Anybody's going to sit there and try and talk and be like, oh, well, there's cases of tainted meat. I was like, you know who else said tainted meat? Contador. And
Contador said 10, yeah.
you know how many times
took
we've heard the
his ban.
tainted meat excuse? I don't want to hear one more tainted meat excuse because that is the most, I mean.
That's what was the
BS.
American runner that just
Yeah.
she's same thing. And
Hers
Shelby.
sounds
Holy-
a little
yeah.
bit more legitimate though, based
They
on
always
I
sound
agree.
legitimate, though.
Carnitas and the beat. Like
I know.
it goes back and it makes sense though. Like if you look at everything,
Yeah.
I actually think she might be like one of those people that
Maybe. Shelby's case is the one where I'm like, maybe. But here's the thing with the hair test. Because I was looking at a lot of, so Contador claimed the same thing with a hair test.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is you're not going to be on anabolic steroids for long periods of time as an endurance athlete. It's actually used in small doses.
Sure.
So you cycle on and off of them. That means in a hair test, if you're smart and with the right doc, you're going to cycle through them at an appropriate time where they're not going to be in your system for an incredibly long period of
Right.
time. Like you're not on them for like 10 to 12 months. This is like doping has gotten a lot smarter. So yes, we might look at these and be like, oh, okay, there's like a chance this is off. If you got caught, that just means that you were off a little bit on your timing, in my opinion. But who knows?
don't know.
Yeah. It's tough to have to talk about that because I feel like a lot of people really like Katie Compton.
It's just
and I really
so-
like Shelby too. I thought Shelby was. I love Bowerman. I mean, I would hate to think that Bowerman is doping. That would suck if Bowerman was doping.
I just don't want to believe it.
Yeah,
You just don't want to believe it, even though
we're cynical in the cycling world.
we
now.
are
we should
cynical.
Be.
Yeah.
We should be because if you're testing positive, odds are you probably did it.
Yeah.
Like let's just talk stats. Probably you're doping, and these are people that are at the very top too.
But
so
if you're saying probably, are you saying that like 1 out of 1,000 there's gonna be like a false?
probably yeah 1 out of
So-
100 even I'd say who knows
Well, then
and that
that's-
could be them.
That's a lot of people because
Yeah.
you got to figure those tests are happening.
wouldn't
know.
it make
Yeah.
sense?
You don't get tested, but you know
No.
some pro triathletes will get tested 100 times in their career.
This is the thing because I was even talking with Cassie about this. Is like if I was to get tested, would I potentially test positive for anything? I really don't think so because I don't even take any supplements. I don't take a single supplement or anything.
What kind of meat do you eat?
Usually not pork, to
Tainted.
be honest.
Tainted meat?
I will say there was a guy as I was getting a burrito. He was pointing at me and he had a syringe in his hand. He was squirting it in the burrito, and I still ate that burrito.
still ate it?
Still ate that burrito. So
hell
they
of
give
a
me
burrito.
Tell you what, had a great bike ride the next
felt
day.
great
I
the
felt
next-
awesome. Went out and won that race on Saturday. I was like, man, the legs feel great.
So one of the big reasons
before
why
sprint triathlon on
she
Columbia
doesn't want
River.
to push forward with this is probably because of the financial
Yes.
implications that
Burden,
will come
yeah.
along with it. It's going to be freaking expensive.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Correct. Yes.
Now, if you're legitimately like, if one of you guys sitting here at the table were accused of that, and it was going to be something that was going to tarnish you, and you know for a fact you didn't do it, shouldn't there be some sort of recourse? Wouldn't it make sense to be able to say, no, I call shenanigans here, something's wrong, something's off, and then the organization has to maybe look through it, or prove that the science is right, or do something? I don't know. I mean, because if it's not a false positive,
there's appeals processes, and this is, I think, one of the things where it's like this happened in 2019, took 5 months, but then
Yeah.
there's been gone through all this appeals process, and she's still lost, right?
Here's one of the things she said. Compton said she hired a lawyer in March in an attempt to defend herself, but she was unsuccessful in finding out how the banned substance got into her system.
Yep.
She didn't know how she got it, is what she said. She said that she decided to stop fighting the legal battle and instead accepted the sanction due to the expense involved with the legal battle. It was just like, and to me, that means, okay, so are you accepting it because they friggin' caught me? Or is she accepting it because I can't afford to fight it?
Yeah.
So
or it
and
doesn't
my
make sense.
career's done.
She could have spent, let's say she spends $100,000 fighting it, and it may not go anywhere. Like, that's money down the toilet, right?
Correct.
I mean,
That's
like,
right.
not money down the toilet, it's going to the lawyers, but
Yeah.
Yes, but also
that's still, there's a good chance
a
that's
lot of
not
money.
going to, like, it's not going to
Yeah.
do anything.
No.
Right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
If she's innocent, I feel terrible for her. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks
For
hard.
somebody like that that's been a pillar of the community, I mean, they should have, a little bit more respect, you would think. I mean, I would hate to know that she was actually doing it, but do you think it behooves USA Cycling or whoever it was that handed this ban down to
good
look into it a
question.
little bit more? Because if you tarnish, or if she tarnished herself, then it's on her. But if her legacy becomes tarnished because of something that was ill will towards her, or something that somebody did to her, or maybe there was a hole in the testing system or something, it would behoove them to go back and look and make sure that they really have their I's dotted
I think
and their
USA
T's crossed.
Cycling needs to bring in independent
if it's
investigators into that.
If it's USA Cycling, I guarantee you someone was like, "This is Katie Effing Compton."
yeah,
like, are we
they
sure
don't
we're doing
want
this?
Katie Compton
They
to
do
be
not
testing
want her to
positive
test
for this.
positive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and do we really? I mean, it's like, do you trust WADA's testing? I mean,
yeah, that's the kicker.
there was
Right.
literally an
Good
era where
question.
they paid off tests. I mean, if USA Cycling was to look in this and be like, "Hey guys, we looked into it. Don't worry, she's not guilty." Like, would you fully trust that?
No,
I wouldn't.
yeah. It's just-
I trust
if
that as
humans
about
are
as far
involved,
as I can
there's
throw it.
going to be
Yeah.
people that are on the take.
Yeah, which I mean, like we were just saying, really sucks if you are not guilty. But I mean,
she could take a
fool us
lie
once.
detector test,
Yeah.
but that in itself is still a quasi soft science, correct? I mean,
yeah,
They're not admissible in court anyway.
no,
Yeah.
they're not.
but I mean,
But
Didn't,
yeah, it's
didn't
just,
Shelby
But
take
that's
a
what
lie
ev-
detector
yeah,
test?
That's what everyone does. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to reasonably think if you take a lie detector test and pass it, like I'm gonna maybe believe you a little bit more, but still, like, it's an illegal battle. It's
Yeah.
I'm sure Lance would have passed multiple lie
Yeah.
detector tests. He would have passed probably anyone they threw it at.
I feel bad for her because let's say that she did do it. She probably did it because she was having a hard time letting go the fact that she was aging.
44,
44. Yeah, she's getting beat by people. She's no longer the national champion.
Yep.
And her career's over. And that's been your identity for so long. And maybe she was trying to grasp at some straws there just for one last gasp. If that was the case, I feel bad for her. If she didn't do it and there was something scandalous happening along the way, I feel bad for her there too.
Either way,
she's
you
just
feel
in like
bad
a
for her.
no-win situation right now.
Nope.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. So
Champions are human too. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I think we all need to start probably seeing that in sports more. That is, yeah.
yeah. Oh well. So all right. Well,
In other doping news, Lance Armstrong's girlfriend or fiance, Anna Hansen, she finished Leadville. She also did the
Probably
Leadville.
on some good EPO, I bet.
I bet he knows a guy.
Somebody test her. Called it here first.
Totally
She was
random
for sure
test.
not
Totally
clear.
random test here.
Totally random test. We're gonna
you,
get,
the one that's engaged to Lance Armstrong.
247th place up here, please.
247th place.
She like
Engaged to Lance Armstrong. Yep. Come on.
Yeah.
You're gonna get tested.
Oh,
Totally
wow.
random.
Had no idea. No idea.
she beat the time cutoff by like 3 minutes or something. So, but still, she finished
You
it.
beat the time cutoff by 3 minutes. Like, yeah, come over to this tender real quick.
Yep.
Sorry, it's totally random.
Also,
Totally
as
random
Matt,
drug test.
okay, real quick. Sorry, this is the last 60 seconds on doping. Last 6 seconds, I promise. Igor Polyansky, the
Yes.
two Russian
Yes.
brothers, they trained with a Ukrainian woman.
Okay.
I forgot
Wait,
her name.
what sport?
3 Olympians in the triathlon.
Okay.
Woman test positive first, the Ukrainian that they trained with.
Yep.
The guys apparently were talking within we'll just say the peloton of the, ITU ranks, and they were saying, I bet Igor and Demeter, the two Polyansky brothers, are going to test positive here soon too. Random test on Igor on the race right before the Olympics, EPO test positive.
Oh,
It is in the ITU world. It is for sure because Igor's been getting his butt kicked over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Which means the guys kicking his butt are, I'd love to sit here and say, altruistic
they're
and
so
clean,
clean.
but
Yeah.
there's no way.
Well, you know some of those people.
I also know how fast the Norwegians are right now, and they're
Ooh.
insanely fast.
Wait a minute.
And
Can't
there's-
everyone break 13 minutes
That's
off the bike
strange.
of
Oh,
on a
yeah,
5K?
exactly. Can't everybody run 28 high? Running
What
yeah.
country were they from?
Well, it's not technically a country in the Olympics. It's
Right.
the Russian Olympic Committee.
And
Which
and then the Ukraine.
what a
for the
punishment! What a
women.
what a punishment to Russia there. We're gonna go and let your country not compete, but all of your athletes can go ahead and still jump in and ruin these races with your absolutely garbage testing program in your country. Sorry, I have a really strong hot take on this. I think it's ridiculous that any Russian athletes were competing in the Olympics. Ridiculous. Yeah, and now
do out there.
multiple tests coming out from either Russian former satellite countries or Russian, and that Ukrainian one was training in Russia too. So it's there's gonna be a lot that comes out from this Olympics in a few years where there are like multiple positive tests from that group.
I don't think the U.S. is all, shiny,
We're not
shiny
exactly
rainbows.
shiny either. No, we are for sure not shiny rainbows.
No.
Yeah, but we do better at not getting
but-
caught or getting
but
documentaries about us.
The U.S. is, perfectly clean and perfect. It's a perfect place.
We're for sure not. No,
100%.
I know Morgan's not doping, but that's about as far as my knowledge goes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Oh yeah. I know somebody who sees me every single day. There'd be no way. No way.
Could happen.
All right.
How
we
about a little
are,
bit of Patreon stuff here, boys?
Let's move on to Patreon.
Mr. Lance, you want to pull a little name out of the hat there for our Patreon drawing that we haven't done in a little while? Now that we got all four of us sitting here, we're going to get back to doing some Patreon stuff so that we can actually have another person pull something out of the bin. Today, this week, this person who wins,
Nathan Skanky.
Nathan, won
Nice.
again.
Nathan from Gilbert,
yeah, he's
Arizona,
won
a
before.
triathlete who.
Oh,
will,
yay, triathletes.
He is a triathlete.
Yep. Good dude. So, Nathan, reach out to
Nice.
us. I think you've got the email, too. You can just send it to info@dialedpodcast.com, or you can send it to jake@dialedcycling.com as well. That'll work. And we'll get you connected with your prize for the week. So if anybody out there listening would like to become a patron, you can go to dialedpodcast.com and click on the link there. Pick a patron that works best for you, and you can help support the show. We greatly appreciate that. Moving on. This
Wait,
week.
we still have a show to do? I thought we were just talking.
Oh, that was it.
We did
Today, hot seat about doping.
It's about to get hot in here.
Yeah.
Music's so hot, you gotta listen naked.
Whoa. Is that for Lance?
That's for me.
This podcast is going to need a PG-13 rating, I think.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
Hey, hot seat. You guys want to do hot seat?
Does everybody at this table know who that is, too?
No.
I know Jake does.
Oh, yeah.
Matt and Lance, do you?
It's Paris Hilton.
Thank you, Lance. Yes. Matt, you are officially the oldest guy at this table.
Oh, yeah. Paris and I we're not on speaking terms anymore.
All right. Who wants to go first out of all you kids?
I'll go first.
Good.
Well,
Matt
actually, I
Legrand.
should go last because I have nothing great. We're always kind of coming up with these hot seat questions on the fly here, but
That's why
They're
it's so hot.
They're double hot.
that's why they're so hot. I have two questions.
Go.
One is like your easy out if you don't have an answer to this question. The hot seat is, do you have any quick cycling hacks for triathletes to consider using?
Quick
Okay.
cycling hacks for triathletes to use.
Yes,
I do.
We talked about hacks on podcast maybe 2 podcasts ago.
Yeah. You'll be faster if you quit running and swimming.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's a quick hack.
All right. That's
There you go.
Lance, you got to come with something different. If you want an out, I have another question for you.
You put Crisco on your shin so that you get your wetsuit off faster.
Crisco's the only way to do it. Can't use Body Glide.
There's also
No
something called
Body Glide.
Triglide, but
Body
Crisco.
Glide's-
Go with Crisco.
Go
I like
Crisco.
that.
Then the dogs all will chase you.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Bike race.
You
Oh,
should
I
race
was
bikes.
supposed to
Bike
say
race.
cycling.
There's
You
your
should-
cycling
You
hack.
should race bikes.
a bike.
If you
faster.
race bikes
Right.
against other cyclists,
Okay.
you'll get faster. There
Good.
you go.
Good tips.
How about you, Matt? Answer your own question.
Well, I have a video coming up in I don't know, maybe this week, maybe next
you
week.
just
but it's gonna
posted
be,
a video, like 10
this
hacks
was,
for
I
triathletes.
did training hacks for triathletes, and then the next one's gonna be racing hacks for triathletes. The training hacks, there's stuff like if you pop a tube or whatever, don't throw it away. Like use your tube and use it for swimming and stretching.
Oh, I thought you
Or-
meant training hacks like
That
how to
was-
get fast off cycling only off 1 hour training a week or something like that.
Those are the real money makers. No, they're kind of like little weird things that you could do. I'm trying to remember what some of the racing hacks are that are going to be in the next video. I shouldn't give them away, but you guys are listening to the podcast, so you guys get insider info.
There you go.
But yeah, I don't think this is actually on there. Like latex tubes are faster than butyl
Yep,
tubes.
it is on there. I watched your video.
Well, that's an old one probably.
Oh, was it?
There's more.
Clean drivetrain is
You're
a
at a
fast
triathlon.
bike.
Drivetrain's
Yes.
fast. Rubber band.
Tubeless.
You can rubber band your shoes open and transition if you want to beat Evan in T1.
If you want to look like an actual professional, then yes, you
Yep.
can do that.
So that keeps your shoes open, and then you basically, as you pedal, the rubber band snaps.
Yep.
There you go.
Cool.
You could use that in cyclocross. Just stop in the middle of your race, tie the rubber
Tie it
band
with the
on,
rubber band so I can
then-
jump back on
and then
faster.
when you jump back
and
on,
then run barefoot.
bam, you're good. You're good to go there.
Cool. Do you want to answer or ask us your second question?
Well, the other one is a weak
He can save
question.
it.
The other one's weak. Yeah,
I'm
the
happy
other one,
to answer if you
The
want to
other
do
one
it
is what's the best bike shoe for me to purchase here next? Because people are making comments on my videos about how rough my shoes are looking. So it's time to buy some shoes, and I bought some physique triathlon shoes that were not great. I'm sending those back. But
I do love my legs.
we talked about Giro, potentially the Imperial.
Yeah, that's-
Imperial.
Okay.
Those are some great shoes. I love them.
They're light. and
Lake
fast.
Lake's a good triathlon shoe.
Lake triathlon shoes.
I need to
want
look
to try
at
Bont.
what the
Bont.
yes,
I know they're
Bont and-
expensive. But
Bont and Lake are similar structures. Are pretty wide forefoot. Yep.
I didn't realize this, but we have access to Bont here at the lab.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we
Nice.
can get some Bont shoes.
I do know of everybody triathlon-wise who's gone to Bont loves it, and I think Lake is just a similar type of shoe,
Sure.
but I like it.
Yeah,
I
Lake
might
is
get,
good
like-
for people with wide feet too. So
I might get like a cycling shoe, for all the
Yep.
road stuff, and then get like a triathlon shoe
Yeah.
for all the future triathlon races that I do.
I cross
next
them over
year.
because if I do bike race, I want to make sure people know that I don't know what I'm doing. So
You should probably not wear socks when you're bike
I
racing.
wear ankle socks in bike races
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I still wear my triathlon shoes from 2004 on the trainer.
they're good shoes. Yeah.
they're good shoes.
And
Great shoes.
speed play pedals. That's on my trainer.
Can you wear an arrow helmet in the bike race? Are you allowed
I
to
asked
do
in PR. They said no. Yeah.
that? You asked.
Evan, do you want to go next?
What is your favorite or least favorite, depending on how you want to look at this, VO2 structured bike workout?
I did one this morning.
There you go. You can either put what's
did
the
a
one you
bike
think
workout
you
this
get the
morning and then
most
rode with
effect
the
out of,
That's
or what's your
correct.
least favorite. Yeah.
Go,
Go, Lance.
Okay, today I actually was able to actually complete it,
Uh-huh.
which is always a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
with the
A good VO2 workout is one that you only complete probably one out of every 4 times.
It was 30 seconds. It was
Yep.
30 seconds on, 15 seconds off.
Ronestad. Yep.
Yeah, and you did 13 intervals of
Yep.
30 seconds, and then only a 3-minute break, and I did that 3 times.
You made it through that 3 times.
Yeah.
You're an absolute champion.
So there were
Me and Chris Bagg actually talked about that workout. He is not a fan of that workout.
the 30 seconds on, 15
There's
off.
there's been some research against it, definitely, just because the study that it references was poorly done. But I think it's highly effective because it's freaking brutal to get through. It's one of the hardest workouts I've
It was
ever
very-
tried to do.
It was
yeah.
it was hard, and I did it outdoors, which is also hard to do.
Yeah.
Trying to find routes that you can go on and off and not.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's brutal.
I managed to complete it today.
God.
So
Oh my gosh. Boo.
That's that. I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Hold on
it's
a second.
hard
Yeah.
because
No,
15 seconds you don't
Ronestad is
really
brutally hard.
recover.
It's a big Belgian workout. That's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
The minute on, 30 seconds off. How do you do with that one?
Not as good.
I do 6 of those 30-second rest intervals, and then there's like a 3-minute break
Rest,
between those,
yeah.
and then you do like 3 of those sometimes. And then as you start to acclimate to those, you just add more reps.
Reps.
Those I got pretty stinking strong, but they suck. They are super hard, and you feel like your legs are going to fall off, and you're going to throw up, and your head's going to explode. But
Well, guess what, bike racers?
yeah, that's bike racing.
You don't get faster if you don't do
You can also just
intervals.
jump into a bike race and get basically the same idea. Yeah. That's
I think the Zwift workout that I do sometimes when I'm feeling chipper is like it's 3 by 5 minutes, and then I think you throw like a little sprint in there, like it's a 1-minute pickup, and then it's that through that a couple of times.
okay. What are the 5 minutes at?
According to this, it says 95% FTP, but that sounds high to me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I guess it depends on how accurate your FTP is set on
Yeah.
Zwift, which
Which makes or breaks all those workouts, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that I think it's like that's like the go-to workout. I feel like I don't need that much variety in my
Yeah.
like cycling workouts. It's like, oh, this is the one where you want to hurt. Okay,
Yeah.
this'll hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I give a 4x4 to a lot of people I coach. And me and Josh will
4x4.
try and do it. 4x4
Yeah,
at about
that's-
115%, which
Oh.
gets really, really, really hard.
Oh,
I've actually never made it through all 4.
You mean 4 minutes on?
Yes.
what's the recovery in between?
4 minutes. It's a 1-to-1 recovery ratio.
4 minutes on, 4 minutes off.
No. So yeah. So you go 4 minutes at 115%.
That's high.
Oh, it's very high. It's hard. When I give it to people, I tell you, like, let's see how many we can make it through this week. I think I've had a couple people make it through all 4 when they're really
Yeah.
feeling awesome. But yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Ouch.
Yep. Lance, you want to hit us with your hot seat question?
Okay, coaches.
Yep. Go.
How long do you think you can stay in top form?
As long as I want to.
At least 91 years.
Use it or lose it, baby.
Use it or lose it, Lance.
There's no getting off top form for 90 years again.
Like how?
That's
like,
a great
okay,
question. I was just
like
talking with
peak-
Josh about this today.
Like how long
actually.
can you be at a peak?
Yeah.
I think it's like daily, flightingly. Like you're there, and it's just. I think it's you're very, very lucky to hit a race when you're at like true
At
peak.
It's hard.
It is hard. I've been struggling with it because I raced all spring. Yeah, I did all these mountain bike races in spring, and I purposefully took like a month or a month and a half off where I didn't do anything structured. I just rode so that I could try to peak again for the cyclocross season. And last year or the year before, I didn't do that. I just I'm just gonna stay fit all year because I'm
working.
Superman.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. You don't get beyond a certain level,
No.
and I just didn't know. I mean, is the peak you're shooting for like a 3-week peak? Is it 2 weeks? Is it Matt saying one race?
No, you're trying to peak at one race.
Yeah. This is one
Like,
of
you
the
don't-
best.
You don't
This is one of
peak
the
at
best,
regionals
most
and
like
then nationals.
Yeah.
Like
This-
you peak at nationals.
This
like,
is one of the best
or one
like
or the other.
questions I feel like in the endurance world from like a coaching perspective. And Matt gets to see this from a younger, different sport. So running's
Sure.
a little bit different, I think, because you're talking about more breakdown in running. So I think
True.
the peaks are shorter in running,
Maybe.
and I think they're harder to get to. Cycling and triathlon, I feel like the peaks are easier to hold a little bit longer, and they're not as sharp. Running, I think Matt's completely right. I think you got 2 peaks in a year in running, tops.
Yeah.
And here's another. I was just talking with Josh about this, and this is just as I enter my 30s now. As I'm now an older racer. I'm joking.
Deep
but this,
into your 30s.
deep into my 30s now. A few weeks now.
At 20. Did you already turn 30?
I'm already 30. Yeah.
Okay.
Deep into my 30s here, Lance.
Like a couple weeks.
So
Couple weeks.
I think when you're younger, the peaks are much sharper, but I feel like they're very fleeting, short.
Yeah.
And I think the recovery actually needs to be longer after those really sharp peaks. I'm not sure if that's mentally from high schoolers or physically as much, but I feel like as a runner, when you hit a really, really sharp peak as a high schooler, the come down is a little bit tougher. I think when you're like talking like kids who race like NXN in their absolute top shape,
Yep.
I feel like it's not infrequent to see kids get injured after that, to like get a little bit of mental burnout too. I feel like as you age, that peak is not as sharp. So it's not like you're going to see a 4-week build result in this like massive gain in fitness. I'm going to use a local kid as an example. Keller Norland had one of the coolest peaks I've seen in training. This guy went to Project Podium, which is a Olympic development program for draft legal racing. Threw together some good run weeks and just like boom was killing it at the end of the cross season. And this is like after, really like not a ton of volume training, honestly. He just went into just some smooth, good like 30, 40 mile run weeks and then, like triathlon style training. And then all of a sudden we're just like boom, killing it. And I think that's these peaks are sharper and faster when you're young. As we get older, it's like longer builds, long builds. If you start to mess around with too much reverse periodization or anything like that, you're going to end up like burning yourself out, honestly, I think, as you get a little older. But those peaks, I think, can be longer. So when you're talking about your 40-year-old really experienced endurance athlete that's got years and years built underneath them, just be careful, more careful with your builds. If you've got, like Lance, like, I got a cyclocross nationals coming up. I want to be fit in 3 months. Start now. Don't increase massively quick. Make it a slow build, and you're going to hit that race and be okay.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking you can do these like 4-week builds that, you might see your high school cross country,
Right.
kids do, or even as kit coaches, young, really, really fast mountain bike racers. He talks about it all the time. He's like, yeah, these kids can just gobble up training intensity and volume in short periods of time. But he says he's got to be careful with them because
They burn out. So
So I think the mental burnout for me, like really how long do I think I can hold a peak right now? I'm not lying. I think I can hold a peak for 3 months. And not the peak that Matt's talking about where we're talking like
that race where you're
that,
just,
that like one magical race. I'm talking about I can hold really good fitness for 3 months.
Yeah.
But that's taken me now 12, 13 years to develop the ability, I think, to hold 3 months at a peak. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what are you seeing, Lance? What are you?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Where are you at? Where's your head at in this?
Because everybody's different with
When's
this.
Cross Nationals?
Everybody's different.
What's your?
Cross Nationals is in December.
Is that what you're looking for?
It's in Chicago. I'm not even sure I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Because it's in Chicago.
So you're trying to figure out
Wait, in
where.
December in
Well,
Chicago?
it's like the second week of December.
Do not go to that. No, the weather's going to be absolutely terrible.
That's the way cross is.
Dude, I'm saying like really bad. Like I'm from that region. You do not want to
Yeah.
be racing cross in December in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's usually nationals are a snow race.
It's gonna be beautiful. Don't listen
Dude,
to
you're
this
going to
guy.
need to bring a fat bike for that. Like a cross bike will not work in that snow.
So
be beautiful.
I'm not positive I really want to go to that.
But you want to do well in the series.
I want to
here
do
at
well
Portland.
on the Cross Crusade series if it happens. So and there's 9 of those races or 8 of those races, and I kind of set up my plan to peak at the last one so that I would be building towards those.
I think that's perfect.
You can hold great fitness over, what is that, an 8-week series? 10-week series? Yeah. You can hold really good fitness over that.
So that's the point, and it's trying to be there. And like 2 years ago when I worked through a whole training program like that, I did peak really, really well towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping to be able to do.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Jake?
You got a hot seat question for us?
Okay, guys, you ready for my hot seat question?
Yep.
What is the best way to secure a bike shop?
Oh.
Oh God.
Location maybe? It's
This one hits close to home here, but yeah.
Cabling all the bikes.
Yes. Lance is going to take mine here. I know we were talking about this.
We were talking about cabling the bikes.
Yeah.
Now, what if they come in and see all said cabled bikes sitting there and like, dang it, can't take the cable bikes, but I'm going to take a bunch of the crap and I'm going to come back again another time with some cable cutters and now I got a bike.
Is there really a way to secure a bike shop
protect dog.
properly?
I don't know. I was thinking you guys are going to come up with some cool like laser
We need a tack dog.
bean.
Attack dog?
Yeah.
Attack dog to give them the beans.
Glitter bombs.
Hey, I
Glitter
got some
bombs
beans
everywhere.
for
Is that
ya.
the title of this podcast?
Give it the beans. Give it the beans.
I can't think of a great way
I
to
think-
do it without like just being like we got to
We're
be in a
not
location.
in a bad
No.
area.
No, we're
No.
not.
We're
not.
really
we're not.
like people are. God, you got broken into again. We're not in a bad area. I mean,
No.
people very well could be traveling.
This is was a very low crime area.
Yeah.
Very low.
What was the text message I sent you last night about 8:00 last night, Evan?
It's unbelievable. I know. There was
There was
another
a-
break-in locally.
Well, it was a strong arm robbery, is what they
Yes,
titled
not
it
just a
as.
break-in.
It was
was-
here
Oh
in
my
the same
gosh.
shopping center, and I had multiple people ping me and said, "Please tell me this wasn't the lab again." And I'm like, "Oh no!" My heart like sunk in the beginning, and I'm like looking at all the video cameras because I can look at those online, and thankfully, not everything looked fine.
Yeah.
Everything was fine when we got here today, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that just kind of sucks right now. But there is a homeless camp that's nearby, but I
By
don't.
Evergreen High School.
I mean, the
Yeah.
guy that came in here last knew exactly what he was coming in here
Yeah.
for. He was very calculated, and he was
Yeah.
here for 2 minutes. He got in and out. There's some speculation that they might be part of some other crime syndicate that
Yeah.
maybe specializes in certain industries.
I think
but
between Portland and Vancouver, you have a lot of these right now. So
Yeah.
these are organized groups. This is not just random some guy who's like, oh, I think I want a bike. Like that's
Yeah,
they,
but
they know what
you'd
they're
think that they
doing.
would send 2 people in if it was going to be like really organized.
maybe. But that guy got in and out here
nah.
so stinking quick. I mean, he could have taken a lot more if there were 2 of them, but he knew
I don't
exactly what he was taking. There were some high dollar things that don't
Yep.
take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
He came in with a big white duffel bag and filled that thing up to the brim, and then grabbed the
He
most
was out
expensive bike that we
less
had
than
here.
60 seconds.
It was very calculated. So,
Ugh.
so what are some?
I think that the 2 big things are you got to slow down the robbery, which I think the cabling helps. Even if they're able to bring in something, it at
Yeah.
least slows it down a little bit. And I think
The response time from the police is going to be what, like 30 minutes if an alarm goes off at the fastest.
yeah, but I mean
That's a lot of time for him too.
Yeah, but
like
we
he took
get-
2 minutes. It
Yeah,
took
the
him 2
alarm's
minutes.
going off full blare. The alarm company calls Ryan,
yeah.
who
Ryan was here in less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, he
Oh,
missed.
wow.
No, he missed the guy by 5 minutes. So
Wow.
Well, 6 minutes in is when he was here.
yeah,
Might
so
not
he
be
got-
good for him to run into some.
That's what we were talking about. I mean, very.
Yeah, this guy's got a crowbar and a bunch of garb in his hands, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That just kind of sucks. The police showed up over an hour later.
Yeah.
That's when they finally came in, and their excuse for being so late was they were on a shift change.
Wonderful.
I'm like, well, what if somebody was actually here? Like, what if this guy decided to come in at 6:00 in the morning, and maybe somebody was working,
Yeah.
like one of the female
I'm here at 5:30 every
PTs.
morning.
What if he had a gun and there was something going
Yep.
on and there was a shift change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I mean,
I know.
The guy
This
came in
is-
at 5:40, and you get here at 5:30.
I get here
so
at 5:30.
if he was here on a weekday, then Evan would have
Yeah.
given him the beans.
probably giving him the beans.
I don't know if I have many
You would
beans to give.
have been
There's
dumb and done something dumb. I bet.
probably.
Anything off the wall that you guys can think of?
Me and Jake both get pretty angry about this, so I know I would do something dumb.
Hire Macaulay Culkin to come down here and set up some booby traps.
I think taking, and as we talk about this, is taking away some of the more expensive bait, at least out of the space, is probably good. But I mean, if you're a typical bike shop, like, you can't always do that. But
you have to merchandise. You have to have stuff around. I mean, oh yeah, I've got this. Let me run to my storage unit, run to my house and get it and bring it back here. I mean, that's just.
You have the van.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I keep it in the van, then somebody's going to go to my house and bust the back doors open.
That's my plan. I'm going to say, Jake, put it in your van. I'll just be over to your house.
Yeah.
Steal the whole van.
Yeah. I mean, like, none of the options are easy or good. I mean, it's not an environment that's easy to run a business in. That is for sure right now.
Oh.
I've even been hearing of local Vancouver restaurants getting broken into. It's like restaurants. Like this. We're not even cash. I mean, they're not even cash rich places. Like, what is going on? I don't know.
Roll top security doors. For all the windows.
Yeah.
Do you think you can find one of them to sponsor us? Give a little spot on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you guys come up with anything, or any of the listeners, if you guys have some good ideas out there, I'd love to hear it. I know as for the glass, I believe it's 3M that makes this film, this plasticky kind of stuff that goes over the windows. You can't tell it's there, but if you try and like beat it down with a sledgehammer,
doesn't work.
It takes forever to break through, to get a hole big enough for a body to go through there. The guy was standing there. I'm just going off memory here, but I think it was like 10 minutes or something like that. You know, that guy wouldn't have done that for 10 minutes. So
no,
you'd
find a softer target after 5 minutes, honestly. Yeah.
So, but I mean, our back door is super secure. It's got multiple locks on it, but I'm sure if they really want to get into that too, they could, you know, but.
So would you try and like lock down these two, this window and these two doors? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking more of the exterior stuff, like this interior stuff. And like at first there were some comments like, well, why don't you lock those French doors that go into the lab space? Because we've got the bikes outside the lab and on like a little showroom floor, if you will. And then there's some French doors that come into the lab here, and it's a really nice setup. Yeah. Like, why don't you lock those doors? Well, what would he have done? He would just smash those too. And we'd be replacing those as well. So
just replacing even
unless
more.
That glass was, like you said, some sort of 3M shatterproof something.
Yeah.
He would have gotten different stuff. He would have gotten bikes out there. But
you know, he could have used the crowbar just to pop that door open. But it's neither here nor there. I mean, he could have just walked away with 3 or 4 bikes out there as opposed to the one that was in here and all the other stuff. But it was just easy stuff for him to carry that was high value, that was small, that he can get out of here with. So, I mean, when you're talking about one person being able to walk out of a facility with over $20,000 or $25,000 worth of merchandise at MSRP, that guy knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know, kudos to him, I guess. I mean, good job, buddy. Yeah. If you see some cheap Garmin watches and some cheap Garmin rally pedals out there, and a nice BMC road machine with MV wheels and other.
Already bought all of those things. One guy, he was wearing blue. He looked nice.
$200. Yeah.
All right,
that's a good deal.
That's about all I want to do to talk about that. That still bums me out. Thank God for insurance, but that's another deductible that's out of the pocket of the lab here, and
I can't think of a great way to secure this place. That's the sad part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, there was somebody who made a comment of like, can you get a security guard to patrol or have the center here? Because especially after what happened last night, a security guard would definitely be a good deterrent.
Yeah.
You know, some motion detector lights and whatnot, and somebody rolling around here. I mean, that could help, but I doubt they're going to foot the bill of paying somebody to sit down here.
Yeah, that's expensive.
I don't know.
They gotta do something.
Let's move on. Let's do this one last thing. Let's run around the table, and let's start with Evan Price.
One last thing. I really got nothing right now.
We'll come back to you. We'll let you think of something. Matt, you've always got something good for us.
Yeah, I posted a video with 10 triathlon hacks, 10 triathlon training hacks. I'm going to do another video that's going to be 10 triathlon racing hacks. I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but it'll be soon. I've kind of got it like half recorded. And then Coros has a new watch coming out tomorrow. We're recording this on a Monday. It'll come out. Will this podcast come on Wednesday?
Yeah, maybe early. I don't know. I did that last week and it worked out, right? We'll see.
We won't give any names on the watch, but there will be plenty of stuff for you guys to check out if you're into Coros watches and things like that on the old YouTubes. YouTube.com/MLegrand. Go find me. Subscribe.
Cool.
Hit all the like buttons.
Nice.
Do the YouTuber
While you're subscribing to people, subscribe to Lance and Jake. They've got a hell of a channel.
The Dialed Cycling
Cross 1,000 subscribers.
I think we're about 1,300.
We're about 1,300 now.
I know. Yeah. I got a couple weeks before they pass me up.
Doubt that's going to happen.
Aren't you at 10K almost?
8. Yeah.
8. Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Lance.
Big news in the Hepler family. My youngest daughter got
saw this.
engaged
Yes.
yesterday or the day
She's
before.
the youngest and the
Absolutely.
first to get engaged, right?
She's 21. She is the youngest.
What's
She
Lake
is
doing? Come
the
on,
first
Lake.
to get engaged.
Come on.
Lake is dating up a storm.
There you go.
21. You feel like that's young to be getting
Oh,
married?
you know, she's
You guys have known the couple forever.
she's sharp. Yeah. So, she's fantastic. She's getting married to Juliana, a
Juliana.
woman who is fantastic.
She's gone
Yeah.
on vacations with your family.
She has. We
Quite a
love
few.
her. She is
And
part of the family.
here's the thing.
and we are super happy about it.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
Juliana's like, hey, I'm gonna this family here.
She
is,
did.
a bunch of weirdos.
She has come on several vacations with
She
us
knows
and
what she's
still
getting into.
wants to be part of the family.
That's shocking.
Bold.
That's
So
at that
go-
point,
so go
that marriage is
figure.
lasting forever. That is-
Bold
So we're all very excited. We're super happy to have Julia as part of the family.
She's awesome.
and
She's always got a smile on her face.
She
She's
is.
always game. She's active. That's a good fit.
hard
What-
worker.
Fit
Do they
Hepler
know,
family
like,
well.
have they started thinking about, like, wedding dates and
I have
stuff?
no idea.
You're going to be all on board.
As long
for
as
all
it's not in the cyclocross season.
Can't be December.
It
You
can't
want
be
any
during the
help with this
fall.
wedding? I get.
I'm not going to help during the fall. That's all I'm going to say.
Like this better
It seemed like they would do, like, a
better be a
destination
July
kind of thing,
wedding.
like maybe at the river or something. I don't know.
They might.
Who knows?
Yeah. So
We'll find
that's
out.
exciting.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right, my one last thing is we are starting the Dialed 100 backup.
Yes.
That is going to start this coming Wednesday, the day that this podcast comes out. So
I
if
actually
you
don't
want
think
to,
I'm going to ride Wednesday, so I will be one ride down already.
You're
but
already out,
I'll
dude.
get on it
99?
on Thursday.
You're out on Thursday.
so it's 100 consecutive days of riding. The whole event will finish up on Thanksgiving this year, which is November 25th. The rules stipulate that you must ride for at least 1 hour a day.
Yes.
At least 1 hour a day, and you can ride on the trainer. Trainer does count. So if you
Trainer
wanna,
counts. You can go as slow as you want to. I rode with my 10-year-old at the time.
Sure.
One time.
Sure.
And that counted.
Yep.
It was like, I don't know.
Somebody
7
asked me,
miles an
is it
hour.
okay if we ride 2 hours one day and not the next?
No.
And
No.
No. It's
Absolutely
that's not how
not.
this works.
Nope.
Because then I would
Every
for
single
sure
day.
be finishing this Dialed 100.
You can break up a ride sometimes I've broken up a ride by accident because one computer fails and you switch
Yeah.
on your watch.
It doesn't matter if it's a half
Just
an hour
the
in the
day
morning,
total.
half an hour in the evening. As long as it
Yeah.
totals an hour, it doesn't have
Per
to be
day.
one solid hour. That'll work too. And we did have some people that rode and they started their ride at like 11:01 and finished at 12:01. Like that works.
That's
And-
okay.
11 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
So little things like that are good. So just if you have any questions or if you're not quite sure about the rules, you can submit something to the commissioner.
Yes. The rules aren't super strict, but you got to
Which
do.
will automatically
you got to
go
do
into
it.
the round 5.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then Sean and I will actually be wrapping up 365 days this week as well.
Oh,
And I think you should finish out the calendar year.
I am committed to doing the next Dialed 100. We'll see how the calendar year
So
thing
at
goes.
least 465.
oh my God.
Yeah, so we'll see.
That is so many.
So stupid. So, all right, let's call this thing a wrap. It's
All right.
get along the two. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week. Until then, bye for now.